What is going on, guys? I'm Quincy Avery. Thank you for joining the YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the things that we do talking quarterbacks. But this week, we're going to hop right in. We're going to be talking about all the interceptions that happened week 10 of the NFL season. Kind of want to dive into the X's and O's of each and every play so that you have a better idea of exactly what's going on. So we are going to get started, and we're going to go with Bo Nix. Bo Nix is going to start us off with the first interception of the week. This is against the Las Vegas Raiders, and this play encompasses a lot of the things that we see Bo Nix doing wrong. They're going to start an empty. They're going to motion the back. What they're trying to do early on is get an indication. Are we going to be getting man or zone? He starts out there with them. He works back into the box. We now understand that we should be getting some variation of man, or at least have a good idea that's what we're going to be. They are going to be banjo in the box. That's why he doesn't align directly over the back. They want to be able to stop the run. We're going to green dog, we're going to add, okay? So let's look at this pocket. This pocket is very, very clean, right? We've got a ton of space. Bo Nix does this a lot. It's like, okay, we can climb. Like, this is a great opportunity for us to work forward in the pocket, right? We can work anywhere in this area. The offensive line is doing a good job. This tackle should be able to run this defender by and create space. But we just take off, okay? We're not even getting a throw. They're running a deep Hank concept. A lot of people are going to call it curly. They're going to have the escort here with a blocker. So they're going to have 2 for 2 on that. There's not a ton available in order for him to make a throw. I'm okay with that. The coaches are okay with that. This is in 2nd and 15. Let's just put the ball in the stands. When have we ever seen it be successful sprinting to your right, try to launch a ball 40 yards down the field to your left with hopes of a completion? Bo Nix just has to do a better job in terms of thinking the game, understanding exactly what is going on in order for his team to be successful. When you put your team in situations like that, it becomes really, really frustrating. I'm not going to say that this is like Bo Nix is playing horrible, but I don't know if they would be better if Jarrett Stidham was playing rather than Bo Nix. Bo Nix has truly struggled in a way that's unique. All right, we're going to hop into Geno Smith. This is an angle by the running back, and the Denver Broncos are going to come out and they're going to run quarters coverage. This interception, I know that all interceptions fall on the quarterback, but this interception is not on Geno. They're going to be running like a drive concept, so they want to see that. He's going to work with the shallow. So Geno knows, hey, I just got to put this ball in Ashton Genty. And he does, right? This ball is thrown perfectly. Hits him in the face mask, and we get an interception. Like, those are the really tough or difficult interceptions for quarterbacks to handle, because there's not much that I could have done differently in terms of our team being successful and running the play any better than we just did, right? We got what we wanted. We saw the concept. We played it the right way, and we still get an interception in. That's the difficult part about quarterback play. We're going to get back to Bo Nix. Now, this Bo Nix play, it's equal design, equal bad throw. And we'll watch it once in full speed. So I'm not really sure what they're trying to do. Like, this switch release here, and then maybe we're trying to run a drive in the drive family. But a quarterback sees this, right? That's no separation. That's bad detailing of the work. If you have 2 receivers 2 yards away from each other, I don't see a way in which we can be successful. One guy can guard both of these people. Then we get this ball on his back shoulder, tipped up. So, bad ball, right? The quarterback did not throw a good pass. Bad in terms of concept or the timing of the concept, which may be a bigger issue, and that is the receiver not working to the appropriate depth, right? Starting that at like 9 instead of detailing his work and getting to 12, which creates a separation in terms of the shallow and the basic. And then the shallow just getting jammed up here by that nickel. But this is just not well executed by the offense and not a good throw. All those things work together and we get this interception right here. Daniel Jones, who I think has been playing quarterback at as high a level is any quarterback in the league. Really most improved player by far. But we're getting a one high zone, so we're getting cover 3. I think that Daniel Jones would like him to be a flatter player in terms of being able to run this deep cross. It's a real 3-level concept. That deep cross here and here. But it's just not open, right? I see the void here. He's going to take it more vertically. But I don't even think if we were able to throw this ball flat in the way in which Daniel Jones is intending to throw this football, like trying to keep him here flatter, I think Jesse Bates still makes this interception here. It's the ability for a quarterback to be disciplined enough, and when it's not there, like, hey, let's just work down, take the check down, get it to Jonathan Taylor. He's going to be one-on-one with the linebacker, and we get to make a big play. This is either a real miscommunication or Daniel Jones just trying to be too aggressive in a situation where it's not called for. Bryce Young's going to throw an interception here. They're going to start in this too high shell, and they're going to rotate to like a cover 3 weak buzz. Okay, so we have a vertical here. We're going to have a fallout here by number 1, sit, and then we're going to break out like a choice. So you could read this almost like a deep stick or a deep branch, one of those routes in those families. If we're working outside, we're going to be reading this curl flat defender, right? This is Alontae Taylor, right? We got to read him. So when we do this, I think I'm good with a lot of things. And there's 2 ways that teams can cover vertical by number 2 and number 1. Alontae could carry this thing, and then he'd be throwing the comeback off of the cornerback on the outside. Or he can do exactly what he's going to do. He's going to put hands on number 2, and he's going to continue to get wider to number 1, and the cornerback will be the apex, splitting the 2 vertically traveling receivers to the side. Now, what we would love here, right, love, is for Bryce to do a better job. Once this nickel gets outside of the numbers, this is essentially dead, right? Unless we threw this thing so early, this is dead. And he's trying to anticipate it, but Alontae is doing too good of a job of getting width and getting depth. And he wants to throw this ball with layer over that curl flat defender, but just don't be greedy. Like, it's just not there, right? That is just a bad decision. I don't hate the football. This isn't the worst thrown football in the world. If we throw this thing high, right, high and finish it up and outside on a line, really drive it, we got a chance. But that's bad ball. And I think that Bryce Young knows that the expectations of him are better than that. And I think that he can do a really good job in terms of getting his eyes to the nickel, that curl flat defender there, to put himself in a situation to be successful. This Davis Mills interception is a little bit tricky because we are getting this zero feel, zero look, although they're going to be popping linemen at the line of scrimmage. They're going to have 8 defenders at the line of scrimmage. That's a full house. We know that we have to get, and that's why we'll see that we've moved this back up into our empty protection. And what they're going to do is the Jacksonville Jaguars, the defensive linemen are taught, hey, we're going to pop, we're going to drop from our rush position to the side of the turn. So whatever side they start the turn at, that is where you'll see the linemen leaving their rush zones, right, to take away hots, right, to take away the ability to throw like the quick now, the side adjust, where you'd see something like this, right, but now they have linemen in the way to take that away. That they want to be able to take away their hot. Now, cornerback is outside technique, because we know that we're going to have these linemen who are going to be dropping here in order to protect us in case of that hot or short throw, right? So you see how they're outside technique. You see 1 and 2 here, right? These 2 defensive linemen here, They initially show pressure. The turn was to that side, and now they're dropping. Right? So that's how they're taking away the middle of the field. But now, this safety right here, he's got eyes at the quarterback. He's reading his drop. And as soon as he puts his foot in the ground, we're triggering, right? We're triggering because we know he has to get this ball out of his hand. It's the ability to read the quarterback, be able to jump this route, and be so aggressive here. That's very difficult for Davis Mills because their answer here is, hey, if we get pressure that we can't block, we got to get him the ball. We got to give him the ball right now. And that's what Davis Mills tries to do here. Safety makes a great play from depth in terms of being able to drive in that football. That's really difficult in terms of from Davis's perspective because that's a good pass. He's doing it the way that it's coached in the quarterback meeting room. This guy just makes a hell of a play. I know we saw a Davis Mills interception before where the defense really got him. Now this right here, the Texans are going to be showing another too high shell look, but they're going to be rotating into cover one. And I'm not mad at any of those things. Like, I think Trevor recognizes the coverage really well. He understands what he's trying to get. We got shallow cross here by Trammell. We got Parker Washington on this cross. Now, this mesh is not particularly clean, right? We want to be able to rub them off. But it's more about the football, right? The football is left inside. And what I mean by left inside, I think this is just a little bit of a lack of, like, their feet are just in a bad spot. Like, okay, that's fine, right? We're good here. The pocket's messy. But this lack of stride, that looks like a quarterback who's stuck and is not able to rotate. Doesn't able to stride. His front foot's stuck in the ground. See how everything's working backwards? This is open. Like, that's open in the NFL if we put the ball out here, right? But we leave it inside. And Derek Stingley makes a freaking phenomenal interception. This is just too much. Like, we motion out. We know that we're in zone. We got 3rd and 11, so we do need to be aggressive, and I understand that. And if we're going to throw this thing like a glance, this ball would come out now, but this is a post. And post versus one high is never a good opportunity. Post versus one high zone and throwing it late is a horrible, horrible idea. Like, there's no way for this to win. And a bit of this is this starting in this 2 shell, but his eyes are right there. He sees us rotate down, right? He sees us rotate down in this cover 3 week buzz. Like, we're off that. The post is gone. Let's just work 1 to 2, give ourselves a chance. But we just launch the ball down the field. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand the thought process. I don't know what we're doing in which we plan on being successful in that way. Josh Allen, to me, is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And we get the motion. We know that we're getting some sort of man-to-man. They cross the center. We get cover 0. Now, if you're going to put it on the tight end, throw it to him. All right, it's not there. But, like, you cannot double pump. There's no good excuse for us to be man-to-man. Double pump this thing. Throw it late and inside. I mean, unless he was expecting a return. Like, this isn't... Maybe his thought was, hey, Knox is going to box him out and we're just going to throw a ball here where he gets to shield the defender. But that's... Josh Allen's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and we just can't... to continue to do things like that in the red zone. We got points on the board, and for you to throw an interception in that way, I think that is really going to be that sets your team back. Obviously, any interception sets your team back, but that takes points off the board for your team in order for them to be successful. Have you ever seen a man in a football game just say, I do not want to get hit? Like, I do not want to be on the recipient of this. And now the Dolphins botch this protection, right? They botch it. Anytime you get 2 offensive blockers on one guy and an unblocked defender, that's on the offense, right? That the defense won. But he's just chunking it up there. Like, this is two opportunities for Tua in this game where it's just like, fuck it, he's down there somewhere and he just lets it rip. I don't understand how the Miami Dolphins hope to be successful in this way. I don't understand how we hope for a head coach to do his job in this way. If you cannot trust your quarterback to be more responsible with the ball than that, like, just take a sack, throw it in the dirt, do any of those things. But we can't do that to our team, just launch interceptions down the field. J.J. McCarthy, 2 interceptions, 2 times to Justin Jefferson. And what we're trying to do is this double move. The double moves are great. And when KOC calls a double move, oftentimes he's really hoping that we created a situation in which it's going to be successful. Now, they stay in this too high cover 4. We feel really good about this, but they don't. They rotate late. They rotate post snap. They go from this 2-eye zone to this 3-week buzz. And, okay, we got to move in the pocket. At that point in time, when JJ just realizes he has to move in the pocket, this is no longer there. There is a middle of the field safety his only job is to maintain the depth. This is like a punt. Like, it wasn't going to be completed. It wasn't going to be a pass interference. There was 2 opportunities here: interception or incompletion. I think that you see some of the frustration that JJ has when you see plays like this. Now, this, on the other hand, JJ McCarthy's second interception, much different situation. We come out and we're going to be in 22 personnel. That's 2 backs, 2 tight ends, and we have no middle of the field safety. I like Justin Jefferson anytime he's one-on-one with a cornerback, Marlon Humphreys, whoever. Now, this is where I would love for JJ to learn. This is like, there's nobody in any of this area, right? We created a situation where we get one-on-one receiver and a cornerback. If we throw this ball anywhere over here, completion. We don't have to always make the perfect throw. If we put footballs in positions where our guy gets to just win a race, that's great. But Marlon Humphreys is on his top hip. He's open, right? If we throw it over here, we're not going to win a race vertically. That's great coverage by Humphreys. We're not going to win that. And I understand the frustration here by Jefferson. I do not agree with this jogging, like, oh, fuck it, right? I would be frustrated too. I think that JJ just has to understand, like, and this is going to be with playing more football in the NFL. This is open. Throw it over there. Anywhere over there, we get a completion, big play, and Justin Jefferson may be running in for a touchdown. This is good defense by the Cleveland Browns. 1 high safety, right? We all see it. We see this safety in the middle of the field. But at the snap of the ball, let's look what the safety does. We go play action. He's not getting any depth. He doesn't care about any of that. His feet are planted. If he was a middle of the field cover 3 player, what would his job be? He'd be traveling vertically back like that. He wouldn't have run responsibilities in this way. He doesn't. He sits. Because they are not in a 1-high zone. They are not in cover 3. What they are in is Tampa 2. Too tricky. And that is why, and I get it. If you're running this play action, deep cross, deep dig, and you think that is a 1-high zone player, 100%. You come out of this, you let it rip. And that is like high-level quarterback play. We got to find that middle of the field safety, understand he's not going anywhere. Yes, he hit him right in the chest. Yes, I feel like we're all going to think he should see this middle of the field safety. We don't chunk information like that. Like, we peek, oh, we got 1 high, I feel really good, I know what's going on, I'm coming right back to it. That is where we have to find that post safety, ensure that the coverage that we expected pre-snap is the coverage that we're getting post-snap, and that is what happened there. Drake May, my MVP this season, through week 10. I think he's doing a better job than anybody. They do this like follow screen, huge in the NFL right now, right? You come in, you get the screen, and you just knife in there for a touchdown. They go follow screen. He's going to wide release. He's going to work here and go vertical. I think that Drake could throw this vertical route right here. We could have thrown that. That is open. So when we drew it up, I'm not sure what he didn't see. Do not make a bad play worse. And that's what Drake does. These interceptions down here in the low red, I know it's third down. We'll just take the points. We're up 21-16. Just take the points. Throw it anywhere. But we cannot throw interceptions in that way down here in the red zone. It does not allow us the ability to be successful. Sam Darnold, the other MVP candidate, and they're just running drift or strike. He's going to come off this play action. He's going to let it rip. I don't blame Sam for this. This is tough. Balls that get batted at the line of scrimmage, there's honestly nothing you can do about it. I know people think, hey, get your arm up, do this. Nah, like, O-lineman got to help us out too. They just get too much pressure. That's a completion. I'm fairly certain Sam is throwing this ball right in this alley. That's a completion. Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to be running for a lot of yards. And that turns into an interception. I don't love it. I hate throwing interceptions down there, but Sam did all he could do in terms of that play. Mac Jones, I hate this for you. I think that you process at a really high level, and that is your superpower. And when we can't run, we can't do things like that, we do have to process at that elite level. What they're running is choice out of the backfield from Christian McCaffrey. He can work any of these ways. He decides to work out. That's fine. Put your foot in the ground and throw this ball. I know for a fact, this double pump, this double clutch is going to, because he's open. He was open if we threw it initially. That double pump, that is why we have an interception, right? The only reason that this ball is picked off, because this is wide ass open. This is wide ass open in the NFL. Just throw the ball, bro. Just throw the ball. Instead, we double pump. They make a break. It's interception. I think Mac Jones is playing really good football. Really good football. But situations like this, these are the plays that turn the game. It's 20-35. We got a chance. Foot in the ground. Throw the ball. Throw the ball. He wanted to work to the tight end, Kittle, on the basic, instead of just getting your eyes down and throwing it to McCaffrey. And that is why interceptions like this happen, right? That's just a bad job by the quarterback. I love the play call. I love the design. I just think that the expectation there for Mac Jones is higher. Now, this is the same play. This is the last play was in a 3-by set. This is a 2-by. All right, I'm going to call it 2-by because it's a 2-man route. DK Metcalf and the back, they're going to be coming out, and they're going to be running choice too, right? Same idea. Here, back comes out. He gets to work here. He gets to work here. He's open. He's open. This is two consecutive plays of a quarterback just being too aggressive. Right? We're just being too aggressive. We don't have to do this. It's 2nd and 6. Get the first down here. And Aaron is way better at playing quarterback than I'll be at anything in my life, but this is just not a good idea. Like, we don't have to be ultra aggressive every single time down the field. Some plays are called to get 6-7 yards, right? We're calling H choice to get it to the back. That's why it's called H choice. You never see Aaron Rodgers throw 2 interceptions in a game, and I do not put this interception on Aaron. They're going to motion out the empty. We're going to confirm that we're going to get a form of zone coverage. We get exactly what we thought. That switch release, we're open. Calvin Austin's open. Hits him in the chest, right? Just like the Geno interception. We hit him in the chest. And sometimes as a quarterback, we just catch some bad breaks. In this 22-3, we just caught a bad break there by Aaron Rodgers. Thank you so much for joining me. We got a chance to watch every single one of these interceptions. We got to see there's so many different causes for interceptions throughout an NFL game, whether it's a bad read, bad route, bad spacing, bad throw. But all interceptions are not created equally. And I hope that you have a better idea this week than you did before, and I look forward to seeing you back again next week. Once again, make sure to like, subscribe. Leave a comment. Would love to chit chat about some of the things that you guys are seeing.